And welcome to the second session for this Sunday, April 5th, from Corey Cormier, who I'm sure is going to bring in another exciting being, even if we don't know who it might be just yet. He has already brought forth Felicity the Lyran and Marie the Taygetan for us, and has been channeling about 5 years or so, and he is a self-imposed lover of gaming. And that comes through with his entities as well. They like participating with him, or at least the ones we've talked to so far, in his gaming efforts. Anything else that you would like to share with us on that, Corey?
Not much. She kind of got it all down. So, I'm gonna let my ET friend do the talking for me.
Well, we'll wait here and be impressed. And thank you very much for bringing yourself and your guests in with us.
No problem. Yo, what's up, people? Name's Zeke. And I'm trying to know you guys didn't ask what my job is anyway, so I guess I'll just explain. I am what you would call a location analyzer. I analyze locations for events, landings, air shows, some stuff like that. Something like the Arizona Lights. However, that was not me, that was somebody completely different. So, yeah, that's me. And I guess you guys can ask questions now if you want.
Excellent. And what race are you from, Zeke?
I am a Pleiadian, a Taygetan to be exact.
Okay. We get a lot of those. You guys are very interested in us, and we're lucky to have you here with us anyway. Now, when you talk about the location analyzer, does that include the hybrid enclaves for the hybrid children?
The us location analyzers do communicate with other analyzers of other races. Kind of like get together to talk about what landings, where landings happen, and what air shows are going to hit, so we know what what when and where to be.
That's very interesting. I was going to say, because when you say location, you're not just talking about physical location on the Earth, you're talking about a space-time coordinate as well. So it's interpreted as linear time for us.
Yes.
Okay. Because to my knowledge, every spaceship sighting has been authorized and is part and fits into the overall picture based on where our vibratory rate is as a whole and over local areas.
Yeah, pretty much.
Great. So I'm guessing that you're really going to be working a little bit harder come to the end of this year and next year.
My God, I'm being. It's like working myself to the bone over here.
Can you give us maybe a percentage about how much or how many different sightings will happen? I know it's slated to really pick up towards the end of this summer.
Well, I can't talk about any of the future events that's going to be going on. I can talk about certain locations, though.
Oh, please do.
Well, are you guys familiar with the Skinwalker Ranch?
Yes.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot of air sightings going on in that area.
Cool. Well, Bashar had mentioned that um, there was going to be a lot in California and over New York City, and he also mentioned Austria.
Yeah, I got those places mapped down already.
Are there any more that you can tell us about?
Well, definitely in uh the place I think this is Arizona, I think it's what it is. I'm still working on a few of these, so it's still kind of fresh in my mind.
Oh, like Sedona, where Bashar's ship is?
Yeah, there's definitely going to be something there. Uh, Probably somewhere a bit up in colder areas. I heard there's something there that kind of a few people have been talking about recently.
And he also mentioned there was going to be a site in Mexico.
Yep, that place is also mapped down here as well.
Okay. Can you tell us more about that location? I
Well,
think he
that's
said
go.
it was on, yeah, I think he said it was on the Yucatan Peninsula.
Yeah, it's definitely there. I can the map shows a lot of water, so I would assume it's on a peninsula or island of some sort.
Okay. Well, all of that information is pretty exciting. And I know, we're not looking for numbers of ships and that sort of thing. But once the number of ships start increasing, they're not going to decrease, correct? Until open contact.
That is correct. Once the number of ships start increasing in your skies, they won't decrease until open contact is about to hit.
Okay, so by the beginning of next year in our linear time, the I told everybody just today that we're going to be having news reports about the daily UAP sightings or UFO sightings.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be hard to dodge the media, especially in our super fast ships.
Cool, and I would imagine you're going to be sticking around longer, whatever it takes to build more awareness and acceptance that we're not alone in this universe.
Yeah, I'm gonna be sticking around saying, "Yo, hey, we're up here."
How long will it be before humans who are not part of the open contact scenario from off-world, because I know there are humans working with many of the races which are involved with open contact, but how many, like, when do we get to go on ships? I know I get to go on one, but I don't know any of the details.
Well, a lot of people are gonna go on take a little tour on the ships out in space. You know, it's a bunch of people are gonna get it, as long as your life path, sees that you are your life path decides whether or not you're taking a trip into space or not.
Okay, so we're going to have to pass like a vibratory level.
It all depends on how you want to play it, honestly.
Oh, well, I want to play it so I get to go repeatedly. Can you hook me up with a special pass or something, Zeke?
I don't know if I can do that, but
Maybe put in a good word for me. Does that carry any weight? Well, I know I get to go. They showed me.
well, then you don't get to go, man.
Well, that's what I was shown. I also get to visit a hybrid children enclave.
Yeah, like
So
I said,
it's very exciting.
depending on the life path you take, if you end up taking the path that gives you a tour of space, it gives you a tour of space.
Excellent. Well, I don't plan on screwing it up, Zeke. So, but timelines are timelines, right?
Hmm, that's good.
Okay, great. Heidi, would you like to ask a question?
Hello. My question is about preparing people for, so I understand there will be some people that will have this experience. And what kind of preparation might they do themselves, or what kind of preparation do you assist with, either in their conscious waking world or uh, in their dream world?
Well, as a location analysis, I worked on like people of the geography, or is it geography of your planet? And basically, I find locations, I analyze, measure, make sure they're all set to go, and then I get the event we're going to do, and then I talk to the others to plan when and where this event is going to happen.
And what makes a particular location a good location?
As long as it's big enough, if it's a landing, if it's big enough for us to land still, it's great. If it's a show, we have to choose the trajectory and in which direction we're going to be going, whether we decide to stay long or go up, or kind of like a sneak peek, if you would.
So by show, do you mean concert, like gathering? What do you mean by show?
When I say when I say air show, I mean us
Oh, air
showing
show.
ourselves. Yeah, us showing ourselves in your skies.
Okay, I was thinking in terms of like maybe looking for gatherings of people.
No,
No.
nothing like that.
Okay. No. Okay. So you don't really have any part in choosing which people or why. You're more just looking for locations.
Yeah,
For those people.
I'm more just looking for locations. The people who see us, I have no control over.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's all I have for now. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Zeke, I have more questions about that. Who decides which ships get to go at certain locations?
Well, that would be my boss, actually.
Oh,
Yeah. You see, I worked with a few other people on this. I mean, I don't know if he's considered my boss. I mean, he does give me he does tell me though which ships are supposed to go to which location and which event is there. So I consider him my superior.
cool. So, what is his job title if you're a location analyzer?
He is considered a first contact expert.
Okay. Now, and I know Sasani used first contact specialist. I'm guessing that's the same thing, just for Pleiadians.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Does he coordinate with a lot of individuals like you?
Yeah, he does actually.
Like there's a span of management and that sort of thing, a hierarchy?
Something like that, yeah. But I did all the details from him, so
Okay.
whatever they tell him, he tells me, and it's kind of like yeah, a management chain, if you would.
Okay. So it's dictated to you or told to you which locations that are being considered, and you go and you assess their viability.
Yeah, I measure and make sure everything's good to go.
Cool. And do you get to come to Earth on open contact, Zeke?
I really hope so. I mean, I did all. I have to plan where all these ships are going to land. If I don't have to come to Earth, then it's a waste of all my planning. In order to see the fruits of my labor, I mean, that would stink, man.
Well, we certainly hope that you get to fulfill that desire, Zeke, because we'd love to have you come down and, you know, and hobnob with us. You could participate in one of our channeling sessions in the person if you'd like. That would be
Oh,
great.
hey, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, it would. So we'll book you in for 2027 late. How's that?
Sure, man.
Okay. All right, we're gonna move. We have a
Right,
couple.
I'll RSVP if I can make it.
Excellent. We have a couple more questions. Christina, Anna, please.
Thank you. Greetings to you.
Greetings to you too.
So when you're off work, what do you like to do? So for fun?
So when I'm off the clock, I more or less just like to get down with some good old exercise. I like to take some stretches, go for runs, stuff like that. I usually like to run through like parks and stuff, get some nature in there.
That sounds nice. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, no problem.
Heidi?
So I have a question about kind of related to my other one. So you mentioned that or it was mentioned that California is one of the locations, and there, I mean, California, there's a lot of different um, places, but you know, as a passenger on a plane, you look out the window and you see um, Los Angeles is very dense, and all the surrounding counties, you know, pretty much Southern California is very dense. Is there, you don't have to tell me where, but are there any suitable areas in Southern California that
Yeah, there are a few.
facilitate?
Yeah, there are a few. They're marked on the map.
And can you mention what they're like, or
Well,
like
most of them have a clear sky view, so you can see us if we plan to fly over.
I
And
see.
also, the measurements are perfect if we plan to land.
So is this like in a hilly area or a valley area or a
More or less,
field or
valleys are perfect for landing, where hills are great for seeing us through the sky. So, if more or less, it depends on the area and the event being planned.
so it was it was just typed in that I really want to know if you're coming to my house, and I do, if I walk outside my house, I can look up and see a sky. So I'm just putting that out there.
Well, I don't know what location your house is in, but if it does end up we do fly over it, all you gotta do is go outside and look up.
Yep. Yep. Looking forward to that if that happens. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Zeke, now that we're kind of buddies, can you give us a little bit of a heads up so maybe we can get cameras ready or something? Because I know cameras can detect things that our eyesight cannot and result in as far as your air shows and orbs and things of that nature.
Well, I don't know if I can. I can tell you guys certain locations, but I don't know if I can tell you guys exactly where to be and when to be there. It's a little, like I said, the planning is a little meticulous and it takes a lot of time. So I don't know if I can share that stuff with you guys.
I'm just looking for, maybe a dream suggestion. Hey, it would be really nice if you were in this particular area tomorrow.
Well, where do you live?
I live in St. Louis, Missouri, in the center of the United States.
Missouri. I think there is something planned there, but what was that? What was that location?
Party at my house.
well, so I'll take a look at Missouri and see if we see what we got planned there. I'll let you know if I come
Hey,
up with anything.
that would be awesome. I mean, you talk about a good road trip. I'd be willing to travel for that. I mean, I know I'm going to get to have my own personal experience anyway, and I have an area where I have seen an orb. And I know the areas where we have already experienced those types of connections are prime for further site explorations, correct?
Hmm.
Because they have already been indicated and analyzed that they are appropriate.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And yeah, I would be interested in knowing where in Missouri that we might be expected because St. Louis is the second largest city in Missouri, so that's a good place. And it's wide
Yeah.
open. You could see a lot.
Like I said, measurements and sky checks, you know.
Can you tell us more about what exactly goes into your measurements? I know you mentioned it has to have clear skies and clear sight lines and
Well, the measurements are more or less comparing our ship to the location we're analyzing. If
okay,
our ship is, say, 20 yards in diameter, we need to make sure that this place is either 20 or beyond that in diameter so our ship can land without damaging it.
okay. Or damaging any of the terrain as well, I'm sure.
Yes.
And how will I'm assuming that no insects or animals will be harmed in that. What precautions do you guys take when you land your ships to make sure that all the conscious forms are protected?
Well, we made sure what happens is when we do make the landing, uh us, the location analyzers,
Right.
we watch the landing happen as we come down to the planet. There's this little radar of the location that we're landing at on like a hollow screen. And if any conscious forms or anything that could be harmed in our landing crosses our path, this little red box will will show us this conscious life form. Now, in order to make sure this conscious life form doesn't isn't harmed, we can we have something like a pulse we can send out almost to get it to move so that way when we land it won't be in harm's way.
Excellent. I know that'll make all of the animal lovers very happy, and I'm assuming that's the same for trees as well, because you don't want to harm any of those conscious beings.
Yeah. No, we got that thing so that Peter won't get mad at us.
Cool. Now, as the ship's sightings progress, will they be emitting any vibratory resonances to help uplift certain parts of the country, or maybe some auditory messages to just assure people, hey, yeah, we were here, tell your neighbors?
I don't know if there's gonna be any auditory messages, but I do know that a few locations in bigger cities like New York and other areas along that type of skyline have been chosen for events. What those events are, like I said, I cannot speak to those.
Okay. But there can also be, would they emit some lights or some sequence of that, which might also be a
Yeah, yeah.
communication?
There definitely be lights,
Okay. Like a special light show, like blinking on and off, or different
something
colors?
like that. Yeah.
Okay. When will those have meanings that we'll be able to ascertain on our end? Or,
Well, some of them will if you guys can figure out Morse code.
oh, might need to have to brush up on that. So you're saying we're going to get flashed.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not sure on the events that are being planned, but if
Uh-huh.
there is any audio or visual cues, you'll notice. And if we do have any big audio messages, I'm pretty sure the media isn't going to miss that.
Yeah, I'm sure. Uh, do you take, when you're analyzing, do you anticipate, well, I'm guessing it's not really your job, but I know certain ships will vibrate so that they are not detected.
Yeah, certain ships can vibrate at a certain frequency to where they're undetectable by.
Okay, so are you involved in that? You determining when they should become visible?
I do kind of place a moment as to when visibility should be active. However, most of it is just based on the decision of the pilot.
Okay, cool. So there's some last minute decisions that are made.
Yes, the
Eh,
last minute decisions on certain events are visibility and if the event is going to either be a flyby or a landing.
How can you tell us about how common landings are now?
Well, landings now would be us landing, maybe greeting, like, you know, greetings, people of Earth, or whatever, something like that.
I
No,
mean,
no,
well,
take this to your leader or anything like that.
thank
but
goodness for that.
but we would say hello, and then kind of like, maybe a wave or a peace sign or something. We wouldn't get out of our ships because, again, open contact is when we actually walk down out of our ships to meet you guys in person. We would show our silhouettes, maybe a high five or, well, not a high five, a wave or like a peace sign to show that we're not harmful, and then we would probably close up and take back off, you know.
Okay, now, and those are happening now?
Well, yeah, in these days. But the landings are getting very a lot more scarce as someone contact is coming a lot coming in. So
And that makes sense. Now, I know it's been rumored, and like Bashar has mentioned, yes, there are ships in the Antarctic and there are bases there and that kind of stuff. So, and I know with the wide variety of craft which are available, I'm assuming we're not going to be visited by a mothership until after open contact.
yeah, pretty much. You guys won't see the big ones until later on. Those are specially designed for after open contact. They're a lot bigger than the stout ships we have.
Would you say that they're close to the size of our moon?
I would say yeah, something like that. I mean, we are on one side of your moon, so it does make sense.
Yeah, so but I'm just trying to gauge the sheer size of a mothership.
Hmm.
So,
Like I said, don't worry. There are, and like I said, analyzers like myself, we make sure that the space is big enough for the stout ship. I'm pretty sure we can analyze to make sure the mothership can land in that area.
and that could be a water landing as well, correct?
Yeah, because we got that. We got all the water stuff on deck, so.
Excellent. Are, this is so interesting, Zeke. Thank you so much. I'm curious, do you have are in the scout ships about how many individuals would you have that are physical?
We have a few good ones. Yeah, every scout ship I would say needs a bit of a crew. They need a pilot, a navigator. They would need one of us if we plan on landing to make sure we don't hurt nobody or any other conscious life forms of that matter. And they also need somebody who can make sure that our energy and our sources are good to go for just us rotation as an emergency uh, emergency leaving, landing, and or leaving events to make sure we can get out of there and hurry if we have to.
Excellent. Now, I'm assuming that the ones who will be landing will be learning some of our languages in order to do so.
Yeah, they'll be learning most of your languages so that way if we do land and we do tend to communicate, we can that way we can communicate with you people. So that way it'll help out.
Okay, so that would take place on an actual language speaking basis and not a translator?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know it's all expertly adapted so that humans will first have the awareness and then have the acceptance. And then once we agree and understand that, hey, these people are going to help us and love us, then that will change things so you guys can actually come, you guys meaning extraterrestrials, can actually come amongst us then.
Yeah.
Excellent. Do you have hybrid children on your ships?
Not a lot. Not gonna lie to you, there's not a lot of hybrid children on our ships. Mostly it's the audio who take care of that.
Right. Well, I know before because in one of the sessions where I channeled them, they were actually on a scout ship looking at locations for the enclaves. They weren't part of the mission, they were just there as observers.
I mean, you can find some scout ships with them on them, but I usually when I'm involved in a mission, I don't really see much hybrid children.
Right. Well, and that makes sense. But I mean, you're just mainly involved in the ship's sightings and that sort of things, not really orbs or where the enclaves for the hybrid childrens will exist.
Yeah, I'm more or less just sightings and landings.
Okay. So will you be learning English?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, cool.
100%. If I'm gonna see the fruits of my labor, like I said, and I'm gonna land, I'm gonna have to be able to talk to you guys. What am I gonna do? Sit there and just stay quiet through the entire thing?
Yeah, the peace sign's only going to go so far.
Exactly.
Cool. And I'm curious about that process. How long do you think it would take for you to learn English? Because there are people who speak English that
Well, I've been doing
don't
it for a
do
while now, actually. I've
it.
been learning certain words in English and a bunch of other stuff too, so I can communicate with you guys because I've already decided I'm going down there when open contact is afoot. So
And when you say a while, can you quantify that a little bit so we can understand it in our linear world?
ever since I started working this job,
2 years, 4 years, couple
uh,
weeks?
not a couple of weeks. No, it's been a while. It's been way too long. I would say 4 or 5 years by now. I've learned a lot.
Excellent. And I'm assuming that you will get more specific training depending on the actual areas in which you land.
Yeah. If we're landing in different areas, we will get specific training in that language so that we can communicate with the beings we intend on landing in
Okay,
front of.
are the Taygetans or other Pleiadians as well the main orchestrators of the locations and the execution of the air shows?
Well, the the orchestrators are usually on board the ships that are going to be showing or landing to make sure so that way everything goes as planned. Like I
Hmm.
said, every scout ship needs a crew, and the orchestrator is usually among them. They're watching over to make sure everything goes the way it's supposed to.
But are they mostly Pleiadian types?
Uh, yeah, like I said, there's different orchestrators and stuff for different races,
Okay.
but most of our analyzations and events are going to be Pleiadian orchestrated, yes.
Okay, so the Sasani would have their own, and the
Yes, the
other
society would
races,
have their own analyzer and their own events and their own operations managers, yes.
and they are still going to be coordinating with you because it's the overall protocols for the contact mission which have to be adhered to.
Yes.
Okay, so that's your boss's job.
Yeah, the boss, yeah, my boss talks to the other bosses, and that happens.
And I'm guessing that the Yaels are not too involved in that since their main focus is the caring and nurturing of the hybrid children.
Well, not a lot of them do sightings or landings, but there are some that do, and we do have analyzers that help them with that. And I have spoken with them before about certain events being planned that we are both being made a part of. So,
Yeah, because they're part of open contact, so they're going to be introduced with the Pleiadians.
yeah.
Do you know, is it going to be the Taygetans or will it be other different delineations of Pleiadians which get to
I
come
would
forth first?
say it would be us first when meeting you guys because we're basically similar. And like I said, we've been learning a lot of languages and stuff like that. So, most likely it'll be us coming down first, not not super first, but of the Pleiadian race.
That's very exciting. Thank you so much, Zeke. And we're going to let Christina on ask a question. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi.
I assume that since there are a lot of star nations involved with Earth, you have also have worked with or had interactions with different star nations.
Yeah, like I said, I talked to a lot of other analyzers for a lot of other ships to plan and permit these events out there.
Would you like to share with us a couple of your favorite star nations and why they're your favorites, and maybe also some experiences with challenges or some stories with communications that you had with them?
Okay, let's see. I remember this one time I was talking to this Yadiel, right? And we were talking about this event being planned, and it was a bit of we had a yeah we didn't have the exact space timing down, so we were trying we were talking for a very long time. We were shooting back and forth on this area to be here at this point and here at that point. And the thing was is that what we decided to do is we decided to pull a joint thing, but in two different locations in this similar area. It was a compromise that we had made because we knew that the same location in the same area was going to cause problems because we couldn't figure out a space time stamp to put that on. And also, I have to say, my favorite to work with is the Sasani because they get it done pretty quick and easy. A lot of challenges, though. I'd say getting through some timestamps to be some space timestamps to be challenging because you gotta happen at this time or that time. It's all just working out timestamps and stuff like that. So
Thank you very much for sharing.
you're welcome.
That sounds like an awful lot of variables that go into that, Zeke. You're going to have to really focus to do your job well. I can see that.
I do my job as well as I can, especially since my boss expects it. He knows I give it my all the time.
Well, you have our future laying in your hands, so
Yeah, I don't take that lightly either.
uh,
When I'm supposed to When I'm supposed to lock in, I lock in. I don't do. I have no diversions.
Cool. So we all appreciate your dedication to your job and doing it to the best of your ability.
Yeah,
And I'm sure that's true with all of the beings who are part of the open contact scenario.
yeah. I just think sometimes,
N-
depending on locations.
Now, after open contact, will you still be coordinating locations on Earth or will you move to
I
other?
can't actually. I do have a remote type setup to this lab here that I'm in right now. I have a remote, like something like an iPad, like a futuristic iPad that I can take locations down and take notes and measure without having to worry about being in the lab to do so.
Oh, cool. So you can work from home.
Yeah, if it was ever and I sometimes I get asked in the middle of the night, but I don't have time to get up and go to the lab, so I just take my pad and I write down the measurements and stuff, and I send that to my boss, and he seems to accept it. So,
Excellent. So how will your job or your life change after open contact?
well, I can say that after we're in contact, I'm gonna be doing a lot of work on my iPad. I feel like, especially after I land on Earth with everyone else. So, if you see me not really focusing on what's going on at the moment. I'm usually working on analysis for certain locations.
Excellent. But you think that that analysis will shift to more than just ships?
Oh yeah, definitely. There'll be a lot of stuff coming down, but like I said, analysis is there's a lot of different analyzers for different races. So,
Okay. And are there going to be specific races which you will be interacting with on Earth, like tall whites or some of the inner Earth beings as well? I mean, I assume the Sasquatch are part of that.
oh yeah, definitely. Like I said, a lot of these beings that are inner Earth or in another dimension all their own is going to be they will reveal themselves when they feel it is time. So that so we will communicate with them, helping them reveal themselves in a certain area that would not cause mass hysteria or freak everybody out that they start running in the opposite direction, because that's not what we need this time.
Right. Yeah,
We want them
nobody
to
wants any bad press.
We want them to stick. We want the people that are here for us stick around for our friends as well.
So, do you coordinate other landings on other planets in our solar system?
I have, yes. There are other planets in your solar system I've coordinated landings for. Sometimes I've gone to that base we have on the moon. Pretty cool place.
Cool. Can you name the planets?
Well, we've been to Mars a few times. That's kind of warm, but all around good.
I'm just loving all of these details. Thank you so much, Zeke. This is a treat.
Hmm.
Do you have any other messages or other information for us you think that we might like to know about you?
Uh, I'm actually like the other races. I do like to accompany Corey sometimes when he does these gaming things because a lot of these stuff is really cool looking, and the locations, not to mention the backgrounds, the way they make these look in these things is so it's breathtaking.
Cool. Can you tell us a little bit about your family?
My sisters.
I asked you first.
Well, my youngest one, as you know, history buff, real into real into the history of you guys at the moment, standing in your history. Getting pretty deep in there. A lot of down into the history stuff. My the one who's under me by a year or so is real into media. She's making sure everyone gets their message across through any kind of media they can. She's making sure that if there is an audio thing, I think she would mostly be in charge of it in a way.
Okay, so
So
that's Felicity.
yeah,
Okay, and the other one is Marie.
yeah, the one who's gonna end up teaching you
Okay,
guys about races.
okay. I'm just trying to get the old family unit here.
Hmm.
Cool. So is it common for different people in family units to have different occupations?
Yeah, totally. Not every family has to have the same job.
Right. Well, yeah, because I'm guessing it's just your highest excitement. That's what you're led to do.
Yeah, whatever you want, whatever your highest statement is, you follow that, and that leads you to loving what you do and doing what you love.
Sounds like a dream world for us down here.
Hmm.
I'm exploring a little bit of that, and it's fantastic for me. So I'm looking at it, doing it on a much larger basis in the future.
Yeah.
Anyone else have a question? Looks like you've satisfied a lot of curiosity here, Zeke, and you've provided us with a lot of information. This has been fantastic. I'm so glad that you came in. I guess that's all of your family. We're not going to be having another one pop up.
No, no, no. That's all of us. I'm the last one in the family right now.
Okay, well, if you're in the area, I hope you stop and say hi.
No, definitely.
You'll get a warm welcome. And I have a great spot already picked out. It's wide open and it's right by my house, in the middle of the woods on a street where hardly anybody goes. So it'll be our
Well,
secret.
I'll have to measure and analyze.
Do you need my address or can you zoom in on my frequency?
Don't
How's that?
worry, don't worry. I got it jotted down.
Okay. That's so exciting, Zeke. I hope you understand how exciting that is for us.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's like winning a major award just talking about it.
Hmm.
I'm hyped. Thank you so much. This has been a very delightful exchange and encounter. You're a blessing. You and Corey, and of course Travis and his cadre of beings as well.
Hmm.
So are you familiar with any of the counterparts for Corey which he does not know about?
I know of a few of them. I know a couple of them actually that he hasn't introduced yet, and he will. Don't worry, they're coming. You just gotta give him time.
Oh no, I'm patient. I have no problem. I was thinking about ones that he might not even be aware of yet, though.
No, there seems to be a few out there I know of. Might meet him later on, but we'll see what's
Okay.
going down.
Okay. Well, we can't meet him until he does, so we'll wait.
Yeah. All right then.
Thank you so much. I think that's pretty much going to wrap this one up, unless you have anything else for us, Zeke.
All I gotta say to you guys is do what you love, keep it chill, and keep your eye on the skies.
Excellent advice. Thank you.
Yeah.
Zeke is a hoot.
Yeah, he's fun.
Yeah, he is. And she was sharing as much as he could, just like, all of the beings that come through between you and Travis. They tell us up to the point where they can't tell us anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So we always press for details, and we appreciate, that you guys are using restraint. Your entities are using restraint, I should say.
Yeah.
That was so exciting. And I guess, so you're a conscious channeler, right? So you heard everything that came through.
Yeah, her every word.
So you now know that you have other counterparts which you don't know about, which are going to be coming in.
Yeah, I hope we get along. Those me and them.
Well, how would you not? I mean,
Yeah, I'm a likable guy. It's part
that's
of my
been my
charm.
experience. Yeah. Well said. Well said. Cool. So you don't appear to have any residuals or anything like that after they leave, because you come in rather quickly every time. I guess that's because you've been bringing them in for a while.
Yeah, I've been chilling for a while, like Travis says, so it's pretty easy for me to jump in and out when needed.
Yeah, because the ones that I've done often, then I get in and out of them pretty quick.
Mm.
But like the inner earth beings, they took some time. And they got out early because they were taxing me. So fun, fun, fun.
Mm.
So what's next for you in regard to open contact?
Um, I'm not sure. I have to figure out as time goes on. I like to just see what happens and wait it through.
Yep. I mean, are you looking forward to meeting some of your Taygetan?
Oh, totally. I'm looking forward to meeting any of them, honestly.
I don't blame you. It's exciting. You think
Yeah.
you think they're you think that that's that's going to happen for you?
I definitely hope so, because, that sounds very interesting.
Yeah. Well, like Zeke said, I'm not doing all I do if I'm doing all this work. I want to reap the benefits of my effort.
Um. Oh, hi, Corey.
Hi.
Ah,
To Leo.
Taleo. Yeah, that word means love in their language. Well,
Yeah.
ancient language, but it was something they shared with me.
Yep. And I hope, Travis, that you and Corey both understand that your contacts are not going to let you stop doing gaming because they enjoy it so much.
Um. Well, actually, I'm not. Actually, the one thing is, I cannot let myself stop doing gaming. So either way, they won't. They either way, they're not. Either way, when I try it, either way, I tried to stop gaming one time, but that was before, and it became a health hazard for my mentality.
Oh,
I end up in a state of anxiety and depression
well, that's not good. Well, yeah, but
while
I mean, but
realizing I was doing the opposite of my excitement. So
God,
I was going against the grain.
well, they're going to keep pumping you with impulses. Hey, you go play this game. Hey, go play this game,
Oh, I'm
because that's
playing.
their desire too.
Like Z to be like, oh wait, this one looked interesting. Let's check it out.
Yeah, that's the first time I've ever heard any entity tell us to chill.
Yeah,
Just
Chill.
he's pretty laid back.
Actually, a lot of actually, it's the same thing as going with the flow, which a lot of entities have said,
I can see that. Thank you,
and
Travis.
riding the wave. So technically, it's just another word for that.
Hmm. Yeah, it was enjoyable, both of them. And good night, Christine. Thank you.
Yeah.
And she says thanks to both you guys as well.
Welcome.
Cool. Well, I'm going to wrap up this particular session of the recording anyway.